Hey, what's up, you wonderful card fighters? Natural Dragon back with another card for Vanguard deck profile for you guys. And I've gotten into this motto about let's make Gear Chronicles great again. So I'll be doing more different Gear Chronicles deck. And because there aren't many decks in standard, so I'll be going over premium, which is the better format in my opinion. Alright, no hate there. I like both of them, but I like premium more than I like standard. It's just my opinion. I like more strategy when there's more strategy and when there's more wombo combos right there. And yeah, it'll be the third time I'm saying this, but Gear Chronicle is one of my favorite decks, one of the top 3 favorite decks, maybe number 1 out of them, which is Nubatama, Narukami, and Gear Chronicle. So I'll be doing another Gear Chronicle deck profile for you guys. And today we got ZTB. So in my last video, someone, I'll put the name right there, gave me a suggestion about ZTB being more consistent than the Time Leap one. And I was like, maybe let's try the build. So I tried different builds and then I come up to, yeah, ZTB is kind of more consistent. Maybe not more consistent, but I think the ZTB don't have that many combos like the one Time Leap have. So you can't really compare them in terms of combos, but in the term of sheer getting your strides and getting your good cards in your hand, it may be more consistent in a way. So I was like, alright, let's try ZTB, and till then I've been playtesting with it and it's going great. So I finally make a good deck, and let's get to the deck profile. So one of the things is people say that the new support don't go well with the old ZTB stuff, and yes, it's true. You can't actually run the cards like in Time I run Gun Vessel, and also you can run other different cards. But here I can't actually run that because you can't actually get them with skills of Chrono Jet Z or Split Package or different other cards. So what cards from the new support you can run are the triggers. Actually, you can run all of the triggers. Like you can run all of your triggers, making the new triggers, and that's what I did. Actually, not all of them. I'll get to the list. So let's get started. First off, for a great one starter, Chrono Trine. It's really good. You can just have it, and then you can get your grade 3 ride. You can get some stuff in your hand. You can get your some good cards in your hand. You can get your stride cost. You can get your ride. You can get some stuff with it. Plus, it starts off with a bind zone, and some of your cards have a cost of having cards in a bind zone. It isn't like the Demiurge build where you have to have a lot of cards in a bind zone. Here, like you need to have one card in the bind zone to get those cards skill. So yeah, it gets that, and plus it can be bounced back into your hand with its skill. So its skill goes that when a grade 2 or greater card is placed on the Vanguard circle, you can bind it, check the top 5 for a grade 1 or a grade 3, and put it into your hand. So it's really good. Next up, we are running 4 V crits because you can run the crits. Obviously, there's you won't be the deck won't be bothered by the V crits not being CTB. Next up, we're also running the V heals. And again, as I said, I tried Therapy Hamster, but again, those minus 10k actually hurts sometimes. So I was like, alright, let's run the V heals, and it worked better. Next up, you got 4 of Hypnosis Sheep, which is an amazing card. It's just a free stand out of nowhere, and if you know the combo you can do, the loop you can go with Hypnosis Sheep and Spearhead. It's a really key card in that loop, so why not run that? Next up, we got 4 drop PGs, and the reason I'm not running Arca is that Arca skills you have to discard a ZTB, and a lot of time you'll be discarding triggers, and as your triggers aren't ZTB besides Hypnosis Sheep, which you probably have to keep in your hand for the loop. So that's why, and the other Arca's good skill was that it can bounce back from the grave. And the problem with that is it still says to binding ZTB triggers, and we don't have ZTB triggers, so we can't actually run Arca in this deck. But I'll get to like if you can actually add Arca if you want to, but in that case you won't be using the Arca's second skill. You can only use Arca to fetch Arca with Cruising Dragon, and yeah, it's kind of good. You can fetch free PGs, but the problem with that is you can actually draw those PGs without having Cruising Dragon with other drawing cards. But the problem with that is like you got a lot of cards which restrict guarding with grade 1 or greater. So you can actually do that. So that's why I'm running 4 draw PGs. And getting to grade 1s, we got 2 Revolver Draco Kid or Strike Fodder. It's really good. It's Strike Fodder one. Then we got 4 Transit Dragons. It's one of the best grade 1s in the deck. I don't know, because it's just a free E+. You can just call it, have a boost, so you soul charge with it, and then you draw one. So it's a free draw out of nowhere. So yeah, obviously 4 copies of Transit. Next up, we got 3 copies of Hegel. I don't know, some people don't run Hegel that much, but we don't actually have other card to counter charge or soul charge. So that's why Hegel is one of our key cards here. So, and it's really useful. So you can just skill goes to it's a skill is an one of it is an auto, if I'm not wrong, which is that when it's placed you soul charge one, and the other one is an act that says you soul blast one, put Hegel into the bottom, counter charge one, and choose a card from your drop zone and put it into your bottom deck. So it recycles itself. It sends card to the bottom of your deck. So like if you lost a combo piece or a trigger you want to send, you can send it with Hegel. Plus it obviously counter charges, which is really good in this deck because there are a lot of cards that need counter blast. Plus it's soul charges. You can sometimes you won't be actually be using the soul plus skill because sometimes you will be needing your soul. You can soul charge with it. So it's overall a really good resource card. Next up, we got 3 copies of Mary Block Dragon. Again, it's a really good card. When it boosts, you get plus 2k for every ZTB, and it's a grade 3 in your deck and in your drop zone. So it's an overall great card. You can the first skill is really good because with Jersey skill you can choose one of your opponent's grade 2, send it to the bottom, and then get a Mary Block. So because it will count as a grade 3 plus Mary Block, then binds itself at the end of the turn. At the end of the battle, then it boosted, and it's a huge attacker because it's a 7 base plus it gets plus 12, so which makes it 19 boost on its own. So it's really good. Next up to the grade 2s, we're running 14 grade 2s, which are 4 copies of Cruising. It's a really good card. The skill goes like it gains plus 2k with if you have a Jet Vanguard. Now the thing is, it can hit on its own. It will be a 13k base. When the game actually gets going, the thing because 90% of time, actually 99% of time, your first shot with Split Pegasus. Split Pegasus skill goes like when it's in the face up in the G zone, all your front row ZTB gets power plus 1000. So you'll be flipping one with one Split Pegasus, and so you'll be giving plus 2 to your front row. So it will constantly have a plus 4k, and it's a 9k base, which makes it base 13k, so it will just swing with 13 on its own. Next up, and plus its skill goes like you counter plus 1, and then you check the top 3, take a ZTB from that, put it in your hand, put the rest of the bottom of your deck. So it's really good. You can like usually you would use it to fetch Arca, but as we're not running Arca here, you can actually run Arca if you can remove some grade 1s from the deck. But here we're not running Arca. You can actually fetch your combo pieces, your other useful cards with it. Next up, we got 4 copies of Spearhead Unicorn. As you know, the Spearhead Unicorn loop, you get a Spearhead, you have those Hypnosis Shield in the back, you swing with Spearhead, get 1 card, put Hypnosis Shield in the back, return Spearhead, and then you just loop it. So it's really good, and the thing is, I'm running it at 4. People don't usually run it at 4 that much nowadays, but I'm running it at 4 because again, just like Cruising, it will be attacking with 13. It's a plus 2 with the Chrono Jet Vanguard and plus 2 with Split Pegasus. That means it's a for 13 pace, and it will swing with 13 pace again and again. And it's really good. Next up, we got 3 copies of Metal Party Dragons, and it's a 10k. You can ride it, and skill goes like when it attacks, you counter plus 1. You take a grade 3 and a grade 1 from your bind zone and call them in the same column as each other on this card. So it gives you an extra attack, an extra column of attack with 1 counter blast, and you can actually boost it with Mary Block. You can bind Mary Block and get a grade 3 and a Mary Block. The reason I'm not running it at 4 is because, well, my deck don't have enough space right now, and it doesn't hit for 13 on its own. So if I'll be going into a Spearhead combo and I pull this on the top of my deck, and the other cards I pull are like triggers. I can't even call them. So I won't actually wanna call it. So it won't be hitting on 13 on its own. I'm running, and it's a really good card overall, but the only fact that it doesn't hit on 13 on its own makes it not that great right now. But it's still, you can run it at 4. You can remove one of our other grade 2s we are running. That is 3 copies of Manish. You can remove 1 copy of Manish for 4 copies of Mel Party. That's up to you if you want to do that. But for me, Manish was turning out really good because her skill is she gets resist on R and Guardian Circle if you have a ZTB Vanguard, so that's good. And the other skill goes like when she attacks, she gets +2 for every ZTB unit I have, and then she binds herself. So the binds herself part isn't that good, but the thing with she gets +2 is she's a 9k base, and with a 12k she'll be at 21 on her own. So I was actually a bit confused about Manish or A.K.A, because both of them seems pretty good. I tried both of them, but the thing was with A.K.A was that you have to call other rear guard to the column, and with this deck I'm actually really looping the spearhead loop again really a lot. And the reason for that is that you get those turns with you have to finish the game fast, and you have to rush your opponent as hard as you can. So that's why the spearhead loop is a key component in this deck, which most ATB decks nowadays don't run that much. But here we're really focusing on the spearhead loop because you have to rush your opponent as hard as you can. So they would be dropping cards a lot, and so with A.K.A you can't actually run her in the loop because you have to call the other rear guard, and in the loop if you pull out her A.K.A, she would still be just a 9k, so she won't work. But if you pull out a Manish on the loop, she would be a 21, which she would hit. Next up, we got for the grade 3s, we are running 7 grade 3s, 4 copies of Jet Z. This guy is super amazing, super consistent. It gives you a free stride by binding a grade 3 from your drop zone. It gives you bind for some cards if you want to do that. And its overall, its other skill is you soul plus 1, choose one of your or your opponent's rear guard, put it into your bottom, search your deck for a grade +1, call it, and then you shuffle your deck. So the thing with this is like you can start off your turn with no cards in your hand. I actually did this a couple of times, and let's imagine your opponent has a grade 2. You start off your turn with no cards, you stride it to split Pegasus, activate Jet Z's effect, get a grade 3, activate split Pegasus effect, break that grade 3 into 2 cruisings or anything, and those 2 cruising will be hitting for 12 because you flipping one split, so you can actually hit Excel with that. So and Excel and Protect with that. So it's pretty good. Next up, we got 2 copies of Obstinacy Ox. If that's that's how it's pronounced. I'm pretty sure it's a super good card. Its skill goes like it gets plus 1000 for every face-up card in my G zone. So if I got 5, it will get plus 5 right there. And the other skill I counted plus 1, and it gets plus 1000 for every face-up card in my G zone again. So if I got 5 cards in my face-up G zone, I got counted plus 1, and it will be a 21 attacker on its own. So it's pretty good. Why not run it? I actually ran it at 3, but the other card I'm running is one of a tech card that actually comes in handy a couple of times. It's just 1 copy of Replenishing Quarto, and the skill goes like when it's placed from the deck to rear guard, it gets you counter charge 1, and it also gets plus 3k. So it's a 14k attacker, hitting those force numbers, and also a plus. Also a counter charge if you have no face-up card in your damage zone. So it's a free counter charge and also a decent attacker. Next up, moving on to the grade 4s, we are running 10 G units, which are 2 split Pegasus. I've talked about that enough. It's a really good card. It's the reason that your deck is actually able to work, because your units will be hitting for 13 or K. Then you got your 4 copies of Gear Next. Now, Gear Next is like it's like unlike Nextra, it's not just a finisher. You can actually use it again and again because you're not losing counter blast that much. You're just soul blasting, and also you're putting 3 cards into the bottom of your deck, which means you can recycle the user's cards out. Its skill is it's an act that you soul blast one, you flip one, and it gets an auto skill that after the attack, you can put 3 ZTB from your rear guards or your hand to the bottom of the deck, and it restands and it gets -2 drives. It gets -3 drives, and then the other skill is a GB4. It gets plus 10k and plus 2 drives. So you'll be doing 5 drive checks with it. So first you'll be swinging for 3, then you'll be swinging for 2. So it's pretty good. It's like you can use it again and again. So that's why you run it at 4. And also making it your second stride, you can get into your heritage on your third stride with it. Next up, you got 2 copies of Avenir Phoenix, which is like, you don't really get into that much. If you want to rush your opponent like super crazy hard, you get into Avenir, you do the loop, do the Avenir skill, and then you have another full field with it. Your skill goes like, when it attacks, you check the top 5 cards from your deck, and for every face-up card in your G zone, you call 2 cards from it. And the second skill is a GB3, which that says all your ZTB gets plus 2000. So it's pretty good, but you don't mostly get into it. But if you do want to rush your opponent super hard, you get into it, you finish your opponent with it. Next up, we got 1 copy of Mystery Freeze, and the only thing about this I don't like is that it says counter plus 2, which is a huge cost. It's a GB3, which is counter plus 2. Then you bind 4 cards from your top of your deck, and for every grid that was bound, your opponent cannot guard with it. So it's pretty good actually. Like if you know that your opponent don't have enough hand and don't have a heal trigger, you can get this, finish up the game. So it's more of a finisher than like actually going into stride. You only go into it when you are damn sure you're gonna finish up with it. Or yeah. Next up, we got 1 heritage. Why not 2? Because you won't be going into the second one because it just puts it up face down. So yeah, you would recycle 1, and you won't be actually going into a 2 heritage turn that Vanguard Insider actually said, because you can't actually do that here because you're not running Gear Groupie and other stuff you need for that. And you end the game with 1 heritage. So its skill goes like, you flip 4 CTBs from your G zone face down, put it face down, get an additional turn, restride it at the start of that turn. Really good card. Like it's the best G-Unit we got, I believe, because it's a small cost for an additional turn, and all you gotta do is wait 2 turns, and damn, you got an additional turn after that. So it finishes off most of the games. And if your opponent actually goes into Gize, you will get into Heritage. You can, and and then you can get the 2 metal parties and 2 of those Mary Block, and like you'll be having those 2 columns. They'll be hitting Gize, then you'll be hitting with Heritage, and then they'll have another column on both rear guard. Then you'll be hitting with that, hitting with Heritage, extra turn. Try to do that combo again with the extra turn, and you'll be finishing off Gize with it. So you can actually do that with this, and actually I have done that once. So it's really good. Heritage. Next, coming to the G guards, we got 2 hit around. Obviously, it's amazing, and it's the card that you can kill off NLK with. As you know, that NLK still exists. The loop isn't that great, but you can still have a smaller loop with it with 4 attacks. But if you get head around, you can stop them then and there. So yeah, you're running it at 2. We're running 6 G guards actually. 1 retroactive Uluru, because you'll be getting your stuff from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, and because you can get those triggers into the bottom of your deck, that's good. That's 3 copies of Pulsar Saber Lishu. She's really good. She is a ZTB G guard, so she can accelerate you into Heritage. And overall, her skill, if you have 1 card in bind zone, she gets plus 5, and if you have 5 cards in the bind zone, she gets plus 10, so she gets plus 15 if you have 5 cards, and it's pretty decent. And another thing you can do with this is like you can you can bind two you can G guard with two issues. You can stride one split Pegasus and one gear next. Then you get into the heritage turn. So still all of your you won't be putting the split Pegasus face on. You'll still be hitting those 13k number. So that's why it's that good. So that's basically the deck. I won't actually be doing into the combos right this time because the loops are pretty basic and like this deck is pretty recent. If you're playing it, you probably know the loop. If you don't know the loop, I'll explain it real quick. You have the spearhead on one of your rear guards. You have one of your other rear guards on other front row. You got those where hypnosis chip in the back row. You swing with the card. You swing with the split Pegasus, spearhead unicorn. You flip the top 6, get one. Then you swing with that. Then you activate your hypnosis chip's effects. Put hypnosis chip to the soul. Put that into the bottom. Restand. Split spearhead unicorn. Do attack with split spearhead unicorn. Flip the top 4. Check. Call one. Attack with that. Activate hypnosis chip's effect again. It goes to a bot. It goes. You restand your spearhead again, and you do that until you're out of all your all resources to the combo. You'll be doing a lot of attack. You all will attack with 13k or more. They'll all be hitting. It's pretty decent. And the other thing you can do is get that metal party in the front row, Mary Block in the back row. Attack with metal party with the Mary Block's boost. Get bind Mary Block. Get grade 3 and Mary Block back. You'll be swinging with them again. Pretty good combos. So overall, this deck is super consistent, super good. And if you liked the video, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more premium or maybe standard deck profiles, because I'll be trying to make them on weekly basis. And please click the bell icon for getting those notifications, and share with this video with your other Gear Chronicle fans or other cards. And let's try and make Gear Chronicle great again. Go Gear Cancer!